To downtown, homeless encampments will soon be emptied, and these sites they occupy, they'll be cleaned up. So what's next for people who may not want to stay in shelters? We get the answer live from 9 on Your Side's Tom McKee. Tom.
Well, Tanya, the homeless camp you see behind me underneath Fort Washington Way is going to be cleaned up and gone on Friday. The city posted notices today saying that's when the work is actually going to start. Now, there's another homeless camp along 3rd Street. You might have seen it, but that's going to be cleaned up starting next week as well. But the question is what to do about the 60 or so homeless people. Temporary shelters, permanent housing, or maybe just another homelessness camp?
Randy Hundley and Selena Reynolds were in a new home Monday, the corner of 3rd and Elm Streets downtown. They'd moved from a homeless encampment under Fort Washington Way after signs were posted saying the area had to be vacated by Friday morning.
That could be a little bit like they don't care about us at all, like just running rats. So, but they do care, they really do. Because that everybody feeds us.
The city wants to clean up and sanitize the tunnel area and camps along 3rd Street. So about 60 people are going to have to find new places to live. One temporary option is the shelter at Prince of Peace Lutheran Church in the Over the Rhine. The men's shelter house on Guest Street in Queensgate is another possibility. So is the women's shelter house on Reading Road in Mount Auburn.
But the main problem is space. Executive Director Arlene Nolan tells me on Sunday night there were 260 people in both shelters. The capacity, 210.
But Kevin Finn of Strategies to End Homelessness says temporary shelters are not the answer.
Most of the people who are there would accept permanent housing if it were offered to them. They're not interested in going into a shelter, but they would accept permanent housing.
40,014. That's the number of affordable housing units the Greater Cincinnati Homeless Coalition says the region lacks.
So shuffling people around from place to place in the midst of this affordable housing crisis isn't solving anything. It's not helping people get housing. It's further creating barriers.
Back on 3rd Street, Randy Hundley says he will visit shelters until he finds a real new home.
I'm wanting permanent and can afford it. I can afford it. I can afford it now. But I don't know where it's at.
Now, Kevin Finn says it would cost, at his guesstimate, about $400,000 to provide permanent housing for all 60 of these people. The only question is, there's no funding stream identified for that purpose at the present time. Tom McKee, 9 on Your Side, live downtown.